What do you know, guys? More stinking rain. So much rain all the time. Rain every day. But anyway, I'm Diggins71. My name is Dylan. Thanks for tuning in. Today, I'm gonna figure out this transmission by myself because if you saw last time that we took Clifford out, he had some converter struggles at US 90. The converter was extremely tight, and when we cut it open, we actually figured out why. So it turns out that lockup was dragging in this converter as well. I had that happen a couple of times in the first couple of converters that Suncoast gave me before. Now, since we've swapped converter cores, like the converter I have now is a 258 millimeter core, the one I had before was a 245, we've kind of eliminated the idea that it was just something wrong in that converter, like something was happening that's not supposed to happen, but you can't observe it because it's all welded and sealed up. Yeah, we pretty much eliminated that from being a possibility since it started happening again. It hadn't gotten nearly as bad. The converter hadn't broken, but that's probably why it was so stinking tight. That's why it was so tight on the trans brake that I literally couldn't rev over 3 grand. I couldn't make any boost. I couldn't do anything because lockup was dragging. But long story short, I've got the trans out. I have my transmission post here. That's this is gonna be our build station for this video. But I'm gonna get this pump out. I'm gonna take a look at it. Side note, I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing, but I am YouTube certified, both in production and in education and in learning, and I am gonna do what I can to get this figured out. So, all right, so I got the pump loose. It's about to come out. Just gonna try to take off this lockup O-ring here. Hopefully I don't tear it up. Yeah, crap. Pretty good. Put a pretty good tear in it, so that one's gonna be junk. But keep it. Make sure get the right size replacement. I think this is ready to come out now. Let's see what I got. Oh, I thought I had it loose. Hang on. All right. And there it is. Not that I know anything about it or what's inside of it, but it's a 4L80 transmission pump. It makes a mess when you pull it out. All right, guys, so I told you that I really have no idea what I'm doing. I've probably watched the same videos on 4L80 pump removals as you have, like A21 Bravo is probably, he does a lot of this 4L80 stuff, and I picked up a few more in there, but he's, that dude's got it going on in a lot of these, just basic tear down, this is how you do it, do it yourself stuff. But anyway, as you can see, you know, I don't really know what any of this brain stuff does, but I can tell you that's not good. All those roughed, cut up edges are no bueno. Look at that big old chunk missing right there. Wow, that is no good. These gears, these surfaces do not look good. The mesh is pretty fine. That's the way that this thing works, is this all spins around together and pumps fluid. The mesh looks fine, but this bottom side is stinking rough, dudes. This is not good. This may not be what's causing the converter death, because it doesn't necessarily have anything to do with this part. Maybe, don't quote me if I'm wrong, I don't really know, but to my understanding it has a lot more to do with the different valves that are in this guy that kind of decide where the fluid goes, and as far as making lockup come on and not on versus whatever. But that can't be good. So thankfully I've already ordered myself a replacement pump and have it on its way. I have new gears coming. I have basically everything that some really smart people say that you need to keep 4L80 converters alive and to prevent lockup problems. I have that stuff coming. It's really nothing special. You have to drill a hole here, you have to do this there, put in a Sonex line dilute valve there, and you should have a really good combination to get you started, and then you can test things like your line pressure and your cooler flow to make sure that they're within spec. But boy, oh boy, that right there is not good. That's incredulous there. I mean, would you just look at it? Golly, that surface is beat up. Boom, so here we are. It's been a few days. It's been a few days since the first half of the video you just watched compared to now. If you guys are new here from Hunt the Front, I just hung out with those guys just this past weekend. Welcome to the channel. I know this is kind of a weird place to insert this right in the middle of a video, but anyone that's been here a long time, anyone that's new, glad to have you here. Thanks for stopping by. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, do the whole thing, because race week is getting ever so closer, and hopefully this pump is the key to all of our issues. Let's dive in. All right, so this is just about as much for me as it is for you guys. So we just left off with broken, trashed, all scored up pump. Here we have the brand new Freshie. Everything looks good. I just had this thing down at Suncoast. We had the two halves disassembled like this, and we did the necessary interior modifications. So yeah, so if you look over here, this pump has not had the necessary hole drilled in it in this spot like we need in this one. We got that one taken care of, but there are a few things in this pump that we need to put over here. So we've got our new Sonics line to lube valve and some other things to help the torque converter on this side. But this one, we need to get our boost valve out, a couple of the shims, and then our torque converter regulator valve. We had some things done to those that we want to get swapped over to this one. I had just forgotten this old and busted whenever we assembled the new hotness. All right, and so guys, remember, I really do not know what I'm doing, but I'm doing the best I can. So. So it took a trip over to the vise, had to walk over to the big shop next door and get it all taken care of. But here's what we got out. We got out the boost valve that comes with the kit. We got spring, and then your line to lube valve goes in here one of these two ways. I think it goes in here like that. I really don't know. I'll look it up, I'll figure it out. And here is your stock TCC regulator valve. This is what we had in there. And now one of the things that Extreme Automatic says, one of the valve body makers says to grind one of these two lands off. I'll have to double check my instructions whenever I get a chance, but it says to grind one of these two off to regulate torque converter pressure to 85 pounds. So obviously that wasn't done. This could have been part of the problem. There's a ton of Extreme Automatics kits out there that do not have this done. They all run a stock valve, and a lot of people suggest running a stock valve. But considering the amount of issues that I had, I'm going to go with what the manufacturer of the valve body says to do, and that's going to be to grind or lathe off one of these two lands here. I'll have to double check which one of those it might be, but I'm going to go better safe than sorry and do what they try to say, because I've got to change something. I can't keep having converter problems that aren't Suncoast's fault. You know, they can only build them one certain way, and you know, there's a common denominator here, and it's something in this trans pump has been not happy long before it ever got all scored up. So we got to get this figured out. All right guys, so I've got the new pump all reassembled. Went ahead and got dark on me real faster than I thought, but I have got everything in here the way that the smarter people than I do say that they need to be. So hopefully this is good to go. Like I said, I am no transmission expert at all. I can just turn bolts righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. I can put some snap rings in and out. I can read what the internet and what the smart people tell you to do. And hopefully this is the right combination of stuff. Hopefully having this line to lube valve hole drilled, hopefully having fresh flat pump halves and everything is good to go is going to be the ultimate problem solver to the lockup issues that we've been having, because you know, Suncoast has been over backwards doing what they can for me to get me fresh converters fixed, and they're constantly, you know, saying, hey man, this is not something on our side of the things, you got to figure out what's going on, but still taking care of me the whole time. And I don't know, hopefully this is the problem solver, like I said. But at this point, all that's really left to do is to just put that pump back in the trans, put the trans back in the truck, and just see what it does. It's really unfortunate that you can't tell if you're breaking your converter until it's either broken or you take it out, cut it open, look at it. So it's gonna be some time before we really have a definitive answer of whether this pump is the problem solver or not, like we suspect that it is, like we hope that it is, like we pray that it is. Because again, race week, Rocky Mountain Race Week 2.0 is coming up freaking fast. And so with that, I am going to get busy trying to get this thing wrapped up. I have the pump, like I said, already taken care of. I'm going to work on putting it back in the trans. I'm going to work on putting the trans back in the truck. So hopefully the next video out, we will be out driving and testing Clifford, and I can give you my first indications of thumbs up. Everything seems to be happy and working. And if that's the case, hey, we'll be in good shape for race week. But until then, I'm Diggins E71. My name is Dylan. Thanks for watching. Keep digging. We'll see you next time.